Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Today, after a topsy-turvy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Los Angeles Rams. On the visitors' sideline, their head coach. These guys were trying to put together another dominant performance after a blowout win their last time out. On the other side for the Rams, it's Sean McVay. His guys, on the other hand, weren't as fortunate in the opener, so they'll look for their first win here at home in week 2. And off we go from SoFi Stadium. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And able to break this out all the way to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
Down the sideline he goes. Travis Etienne. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Travis Etienne, his second rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos are on the board first on the road here in L.A. Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he won't quite make it to the 25. So out come the Rams down for their first possession. They'll be led out by a longtime starter in the NFL, a former #1 overall pick way back in 2009. It's Matthew Stafford.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it. But otherwise, stay and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Ready. Blue 60.
In motion goes the tight end. To throw is Stafford. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
2 plays so far, run and a pass attempt, and both have gone backwards.
Probably not how they drew that up. Looking for a better play coming up on third. On third down, here's Williams. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on fourth. An ideal start defensively. They already have the touchdown. Now they get the stop.
Just like they drew it up on the chalkboard. Does that sound dated? Right? Am I out of touch a little bit?
It's all right.
All right, grease board, heck, computer, exactly what you want, though. Score on your first drive, stop them on the first drive defensively.
We'll call this a 41-yard punt set. on the return. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Here's Nix. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. To throw, here's Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. I guess no need to force it when you can do that instead. 1st down, 18-yard gain.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the result. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Taken down at the 30. Ball on the 30 now. Here's 2nd down and 7. Nix to the air. Now he's going to step up and run. And that one's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly an interception in the end zone. Probably should have been. 3rd down coming up. Back to throw. Nix. He'll try and do this himself. And that's going to be incomplete.
That's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
For the Broncos field goal. A 47-yard attempt.
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. The fake field goal catches everyone by surprise. And the Broncos take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. And a special play there by the special teams. It's one thing to fake it. He ran it in for the score.
I think the special teams coach saw something on film in preparation for this game, told the head coach now's the time. He got the green light, and they worked it to perfection.
Lutz will look to have the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. A drive that time of 6 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. Touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So the Rams coming back onto the field, their 2nd drive of the game. They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. This defense for the Broncos, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
And when I was reviewing the stats from last week's game, I actually had to put them down and come back to them later because when I read it first, I thought it was a typo or a misprint. One thing to hold someone under 100 yards in a game, that's incredible. Under 50, absolutely exceptional.
It's a gain of 11 and a first down, L.A.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Now a play fake and it's Stafford. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
It leads to second and 10.
This looks like a free play for Stafford. And he's going to go down, but a penalty marker too, and they might very well have jumped the snap there. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. And Stafford's going to take it himself. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Good work that time to get him to jump, and now here's 1st and 10.
180.
Back to throw, Stafford. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Nick Bonito coming in there to record the sack.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. Now Stafford. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. By Nick Bonito. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, now they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. That one taken in by Whittington. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
And he couldn't get it to check out. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Broncos to take over on offense. They were winners last week in that game against Kansas City, and they are on top right now as well. They've got it 1st and 10. Off the play fake, Nix. And got his man, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
So from first and 10 at the 44-yard line. On the counter, ETN pushes past him, and he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. And he continues to have success running the ball here in the first half as he's already closing in on 100 yards for the game. To throw is Nix. It's caught by Bryan. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Here's a first and 10 at the 14-yard line. ETN up the middle. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Travis Etienne, his second touchdown of the game, his third on the year. And the Broncos have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Wants to try to add the PAT. And it is now 21-0. A 4-play drive spanning 80 yards. And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
To kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball. Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
Lady!
Stafford now to throw. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
This first half has not gone according to plan so far, offensively or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It's taken to the 26. A good return there, calling 13 yards. And it will be first and 10 as they take over. And Denver getting set to take. The field. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is,
and they can't bring him down. They're all the way home for a Broncos score. Luke McCaffrey, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Even though he was forced from the pocket, still able to adjust, make the long throw, and it ends with a really big touchdown.
Yeah, moving to his left. The key to everything when they're moving outside of the pocket, doesn't matter which side, making sure those shoulders get around and you get back square so you can get everything on the throw and create the big play we just saw there downfield.
What's good on the extra point? And a rout is on here in this first half. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. And now it looks like he's in some discomfort after being tackled at the end of that return. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Stafford and the Rams come up 1st and 10 at their own 23. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
17 at the 17-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Throwing is Stafford. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
And this drive is almost over before it began, thanks to a great defensive effort. Sack on 1st down, followed by an incompletion. One more good rep, and they get off the field.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's fielded at the 45. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the football going back over to the Denver Broncos. Charles, this offense, they've been on a roll. 2 drives ago they scored. Remember, last drive was that one-play touchdown strike, so now they're looking to make it 3 for 3.
You know, I talked to a Hall of Famer one time about, hey, when you're on defense and these types of things are happening to you, what goes through your mind? And he told me at that point, it's not about schemes. It's not about what's called from the sideline. It's about players. Who's going to make a play, make a stand, and stop this offense from doing what they've been doing?
Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 124 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Man, let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll go play action with Nix. And that is incomplete. Well, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you have people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. And I don't think he got there, no. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. So the snap will come from the 3, but remember, they don't need the touchdown. They can get the first down if they get a yard, and the ball gets to the 2. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. Travis Etienne on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Wants a look to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And this return going to come to a quick end as he is belted at the end of that one. The Rams about to go on offense one final time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Pat Surtain up to make the play. So halftime here out west. Let's go east. That's where we find Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Week 1 was full of surprises, full of intrigue, and a lot of firsts for the young players. What will Week 2 bring? Let's dive in. Our look around the NFL starts now. At MetLife Stadium, the Jets at home for an AFC East battle with the Miami Dolphins. And this is Devon Achane. He'll take it all the way, 26 yards, it's a touchdown. From there, why don't we go to Cleveland? Let's check in on the Browns as they host the Indianapolis Colts. And it's the former star at nearby Ohio State, Quinshawn Judkins. He's going to take this one in, 7 yards on the rushing touchdown. One more to bring you up. Let's go to Arlington. The Cowboys taking on the San Francisco 49ers. And this is Dak Prescott. One of his 3 touchdown passes on the afternoon. The Cowboys are off to a good start, 2-0 on the young season. We'll give you a look now at the remainder of the games in progress in the early window and what's still to come here in Week 2 of the National Football League regular season. Meanwhile, our game has not been all that competitive, a one-sided affair through 2 quarters. As we send you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail here as we resume play. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Rams offense ready to begin quarter number 3. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
180!
And they'll send the tight end in motion. Now it's Stafford. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
That's good for a Rams first down. First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Off of play action. Here's Stafford. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Set! 250!
Stafford. Under pressure, they got him again. They overloaded time of the safety blitz, and he winds up being dropped for a loss of 7.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
180. Ready, hot.
Here's Stafford. And he's going to go down again. Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to it. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. Let's take it inside his own 40. A very good return there, give him an even 20 yards. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they've pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now. Where this one is going.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Turns out to be a great idea to tuck that one. Good for 24 yards. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, here's Nix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. Straight ahead, ETN. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Travis Etienne, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken a 6-touchdown lead. Wants to try to add the PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. 5 plays there on that drive. And it was capped off by a Travis Etienne touchdown run.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The LA offense ready for this next possession. But the disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook, but bottom line is don't quit competing.
Here's Stafford. And the Broncos get there and take it down. John Franklin Myers picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So now Stafford and the Rams, after the sack, they're staring up at a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Nick Bonito in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. they can get the punt away whistles as we come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Los Angeles. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Here comes the Rams punter now as they're forced to kick for the sixth time today. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The Broncos offense and Travis Etienne set to take over once again. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the fourth quarter. Throwing Nix. His throw incomplete. At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. Well, he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us. Partner in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
Now it's Nix. Able to find the open man. That's complete. That's way home for the Broncos score. Travis Etienne, 45 yards. And the Broncos are on their way to a 2-0 start. So I tell you what, Charles, I know that you don't put a ton of stock into power rankings and things of that nature, but another score here, and 2 weeks into the season, this is maybe the most impressive team in the NFL. Would you agree?
Well, they've certainly sold me as they've sold you, and I agree with you, no question about it. They won easily last week. They're on their way to another lopsided victory here. They're definitely a team to be reckoned with, and they are serving notice to the rest of the league.
Looks for the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Now it's 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 24-yard line.
Now Stafford. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. I actually have heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and said,
he's got him in, complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Kyron Williams, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Rams are finally into the end zone here in this fourth quarter. Now the try here for the extra point. And they make the score a little bit more respectable here in our final quarter of play.
49. Rams 7.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. As the offense returns, let's take a look at running back Travis Etienne. And really a lot of of guys you could highlight on this offense with how well they've played, but he's one of them. He's been spectacular so far.
I'd say he'd be the number one, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Because it's not just the numbers. It's, as you said, I think you said focal point. Well, that's what he's been, and that means he's created other opportunities because they've had to bring the defense to him. He's run it really well. He's caught it out of the backfield. They're trying to stop him. That means there are chances for the rest of the guys to do damage themselves.
Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete. On play action, here's Nix. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
It's been a fun game for him so far, but I think he tried to do just a little too much that time. Give the defense a rare win on that snap.
Off the play fake, here's Nix. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. And unable to connect, incomplete. They're giving credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. They're up comfortably here, Charles, but that lead certainly not dissuading them from pressing the envelope late. I mean, if anything, with these passes, it's like they're getting more aggressive to try to drive the ball downfield.
And that will certainly lend itself to some post-game questions for that coach, and maybe you and I should attend that press conference to see what he has to say, because
this is taken in. It's complete. And they get it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done.
And even with the game seemingly in hand, they're continuing to fire away, pressing the ball down the field. Listen, it's worked all day. No reason to go away from it now.
This offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Here's a give to Etienne. He finds some way to turn this into positive yardage as he struggles forward for a pickup of about 2.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
They'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Kudos for the defense from me on that one, because they were prepared the whole way for him to try to escape and hit them for more yardage running it. I like the way they stayed zeroed in on him and kept him contained when he pulled the ball down. I think he was fortunate to get what he did on that run.
He loses 4, and it brings up 4. They'll go for it. Here's Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
First down, Broncos.
So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10. To throw. Here's Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play. Well, hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Here's Nix. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Chase Young able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. We'll see where they go for this play call. Obviously tough in this spot, backed up. Nix to the air. They'll rifle this one deep right side. And this one is incomplete.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. That's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up. Converged on his man and broke the
is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And he's going to be stopped cold. Good coverage there by the kick team to bring that return to an abrupt halt. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. We said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try to hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Second down and 8.
It's second and 8.
They'll fake the jet sweep, but instead of give up the middle to Williams. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
It's a gain of 7.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Well, Williams is going to be stopped short of the yellow line. He did not get there. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. Denver's offense now set to go. Well, they don't need to score here, that's for sure. They could just kneel it. They've got the huge lead, late 4th quarter, but we'll see how they're feeling, Charles.
Yeah, we all know people out there who like to use every second of the clock, no matter what the score. And we know they don't need the points. They've scored in abundance already. Let's find out how they want to finish this ball game.
2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. Nick's going to keep this himself. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talking over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Nick's going to keep this himself. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
I do think it's fair to say they were caught off guard a little bit. We decided not to throw it on 1st down. But give them credit. They recovered in time to deny him the 1st down yardage. But it's only 2nd and short. So that run is still likely to lead to a new set of downs.
And it's incomplete. We're still throwing to the very end, but now this game is over. Well, fans usually love to see scoring, and there was no shortage of it today. What a dominant showing from an...
your chest. Got a lot of dog on me, know you probably smell it. Like my name, Jody, pull up in the vet. Go and check the news, Brody, heard somebody stretch. In your feelings by the better get a grill. Tired of getting taxed for that, take a trip. I got right here for show, I make everybody dip. Went to visit Granny, she say, what's that poking out your hip? I told Brody walk behind so he can catch me if I slip. She begging me to take a sip. First she drove the boat, then she like a ship. First you load it up, then you empty out the I'm not no button, I no wrinkled clothes, it ain't no pressing me. I got on Vinci, LV, no night, but I got that check on me. If I swing this from left to right, gon' have to check on your homie. Lil' bro, I'm known for stopping cars, but they be on go for me.
Get a glimpse when I'm out, it's bad luck. I just put 10 mil in the pen, it made me feel better. They're passing out deep, I'm cold with the my little young ran an M on the road, he a scammer. Dripping money clear, smash, I'm covered in bells. I'm clever, vendettas, raw draws, whatever. I'm a rebel, but better. If I go federal. I pour up, I don't measure. I soon I met her. I leveled up, my bread up. I'm fed up, it's pressure. It's gang, you can't hang. We slamming out whoever. I keep it on, get stuck on. It may say Manjala. Got 2 cribs in Alpharetta, they down the street from each other. I know the spot. My little one, he know the laptop. Shorty having Chris Vic, he a vampire. Camping right in front of your house and start up a campfire. I just did my numbers in front of this one a landslide. Ain't gonna be no who this shit, I'm spinning back to back. Any say they want that issue, I'm going 50, and then the got arrogant. My natural habit. Back to 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 back. Back to 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 back. Back to 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 back. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Poses. You can get away with it. You think the light won't be ever lit. It's almost over now, almost over now. Something on your chest, better get it off. There'll be no one left when we set it off. We ain't gonna take it no more, since it's almost over now, almost over now. You had plenty of time, there was no rush, but it was your dream to be like us. You're in dreamland, so you don't care. And as you wait, we're standing there. Can't be me, I'm a rock star. I'm rhyming on the top of a cop car. I'm a rebel, I'm a rebel, I'm a
love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the knot. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it on Fox. We call them Chaucer cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause of hot. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock. Cardiac eye. I'm the boss man in a suit with no tie. I can't be, I gotta stay. Put me some in the can and it's dry. Grinding this special like Bunny and Clyde. Don't worry, baby, I keep me some fire. Shenanigans and Birkin, she cannot decide. The ladies Mercedes, here goes the surprise. Don't sleep on Miss Lady, help ride. Bet while I'm gripping her side. Big and mad bet, this ain't regular size. We really fly, we like pelican guys. You ain't slick, I can tell her the skies. Upgrade at my wrist, put her gas in the sky. She think I might sign her and change her whole life. I told her to goggle and work on her highs. Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the knot. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and it on Fox. We call them Chaucer cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause of pop. I run it like Nike, we got it on lock.
Money. I took the Billy cool back, then I hopped in the car. I put the in front of the Billy in front of the driver. And man, sit there in the road, right, wow. I stood up, ties, huh? I'm in the coupe by myself. I had to kick her though when I was 5. Keep the old ones on the shelf. In the fan. I'm sick and tired of me. Act like they fine and telling them lies. Acting like they the one created this and they get all this dribble, my guy. Yeah, Cartier eyes, Cartier coat, Cartier as the watch. Cartier look, Cartier, Cartier spec buffalo on the side. Pussy cut diamonds, they Cartier, yeah. Cartier bad for the Cartier. Sky ring look cool with 200 the dash. Cartier jeans, ain't no way I can say. Ain't no way I'm ever gonna go out. Man, I can't go out, no way I'm gonna go out. I just grip on her and I show out. I sit like a champ and I wait on her whole lot. I just whip up a new Chanel paddock. I whip with the wrist and I don't break the door out. Turn the hoes off, float to off. 100 racks and 1, 2 about to flood out. bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the in your mouth. Come on. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Yeah. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Hey. Bring 'em out, bring 'em out.
VIP coming live from the VIP. Heard the nightlife, lost life without me. Most feds in the state wanna see by me. The whole city got pissed, heard he got 3. That other rapper got it, but shouted he not me. Who set the city on fire soon as he got free? The king back now, don't even know how to act now. Hit the club, get before I sat down. Still ballin', money stacked tall and shack now. Still push a button and let the roof on the lag down. I'm on the road doing shows, put my Mac down. Mississippi to Philly, Albuquerque to Chat Town. I got the crowd yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. To get with other southern rapper hooded than this. I got rich and I'm still in a hooligan clique. You be rapping by, I'm moving the bricks. You talk about, now we're doing it, prick. You in the face, you gon' be suing me quick. If I catch another case, I know it truly be missed. So I'ma keep a cool head, stay out of the news headlines, and show these other rappers it's bedtime. It's clear to see that I'm ahead of my time. I caught the chromed out, hard talk career with a shine. I got some time, they ain't I get better with time. Who got a flow in a live show better than mine? I got a packed house yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Mic check, 1 2 1 2. You wanna beef with the king? What is you gon' do when you show up on the scene? 1 and 2 drew on you and your friend and play a little 2 on 2. If you do half of what I do, then you'll be hitting the deck. I gotta get some respect. I'ma make it hard for another sucker to flex. Show 'em this ain't the squad for a sucker to test. Pimp, but too large and we way too fresh. Work well with and quick to check a lane like a game of chess. You wanna be better, bring your best. Cause we'll be standing in your front yard yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Oh, front yard yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All my hot girls yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. All the dope boys yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Front to back, they yelling, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. Oh.
have the time to listen to me whine about nothing and everything all at once. I am one of those melodramatic fools, neurotic to the bone, no doubt about it. Sometimes I give myself the creeps. Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up. I think I'm cracking up. Am I just paranoid? Am I just... I went to a shrink to analyze my dreams. joker and the thief. I said, that was all about the joker and the thief in the night. Jumbo jet. It wasn't easy, but nothing is. No. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need ya. When I was young, it's not my problem. It's not my problem. When I feel heavy metal, and I feel that I need when I lie and I'm easy all of the time, but I'm never sure why I need you. Please I need ya.
Richtung Reizbar.
Denver, Colorado for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the San Francisco 49ers taking on the Denver Broncos. On the visitor sideline, Niners head coach Kyle Shanahan. His guys off to a strong 2-0 start to begin the 2026 campaign. On the other side, the head coach of the home team. And his guys also 2-0, so this is a good test for both teams here early in the season. 2 weeks have come and gone. It's off to week 3, and we're underway on EA Sports. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And what a return. Great field position all the way out to the 48 there. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a look at a guy, definitely got a little razzle-dazzle to him. Can do it with his arm or his legs. Their mobile QB.
And he's had good success here already this season throwing the football. 6 touchdown passes in his 2 games. He's really got this offense playing with a lot of confidence, trying to establish themselves early as a Super Bowl contender.
That's a gain of 13 and a very solid opening play for this offense. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
A handoff for ETN. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. 2nd down and 4.
33-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
ETN once more. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. You look at this Niner defense. This unit 3rd best in the NFL in stopping the run.
Now if they could just get their pass defense in line, this unit would be really, really strong. And remember the conversation with the defensive coordinator? He wants them to rush the passer better. He wants to see the quarterback on the ground. They've got to create some sacks.
And he said it starts early and often. We'll see if we can get to it. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
He'll drop this one off with ETN. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Now a 2nd and 6. And they'll run here with ETN. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short. Operating from the gun. Nix. And this almost intercepted. Not sure he saw the free safety that time. But lucky, incomplete. That'll bring up 4th down. The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-0. Well, they have a great field position to start that opening drive. They only get 3 out of it, but still they get 3. So maybe kind of a win for the offense, Charles, and kind of a win for the defense as well.
Yeah, I would say win-win seems to sum the whole thing up because where that ball was placed to start, that's tough on a defense, and they held them to 3. Now, if you're the offense, you're thinking to yourselves, how do we open up the playbook later on in this game and turn this 3 into 6s down the stretch?
So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And a look here at their signal caller, the 5th-year quarterback.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Purdy looking to throw. That's caught by Ayuk on the slant. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. They'll come up now 3rd and 9. It's a sack. It'll be a loss of 8 on the sack, and it's going to lead him to 4th down.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Take it at the 37. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. Off the play fake. Nix. Now he's going to step up and run. He'll air this one out for Mims. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. To throw is Nix. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. You look at this Niner defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
What they lack in pass defense, they do make up for in run defense. They're a top 10 unit against the people trying to move the ball on the ground. But this is a passing win.
It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. Now a timeout called for by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. He completes this to Sutton. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Cortland Sutton, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to extend their lead. Lutt's good on the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Back out there comes the 49ers offense ready for their second drive. They'll work to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Here's Purdy. A quick throw there is incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, 2nd and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Purdy will set up to throw it here. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. John Franklin Myers in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. That's pulled in at the 32. A terrific return, 30 yards all in all. And it'll be a short field for the Broncos as they take over 1st and 10.
At the Niners' 37-yard line.
Throwing to start the drive. Nix. And some room to maneuver. And all the way home for the Broncos score. Bo Nix with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Broncos are able to to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
17-0 our score after one. Second quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football, as they've got it as we resume action. Lutz now to kick this one away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. And the 49ers getting set to try out there. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. The drive begins with a run by McCaffrey. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Traded in with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 25-yard line.
Shotgun now with Purdy. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The corner gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
Here comes the 49ers punter now. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken right around the 44. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. They'll go play action with Nix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
Looked to me like the adapter my kindergarten teacher always said. At first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go. It's a tried and true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he sensed being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. And he will have the Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's good.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick it down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Incomplete. Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 20.
Nix to throw again. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And he is into the end zone for the Denver touchdown. Bo Nix, 22 yards. And the Broncos are able to add on to their first half lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And the last play, a really nice run that culminated in the touchdown.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. And we're going to stop play here, loose momentarily, and looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
At the 27-yard line.
Out of the gun, Purdy. And he can't escape, and down he goes. And going the books is a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's 3rd down. They're facing some long odds here if they hope to convert, as they're well behind the original line of scrimmage. Now Purdy. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Taking on the midfield logo. Second quarter action, 1:56 remaining. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. They shakes him off. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. He'll get just a yard on the scramble and 2nd down.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short game when he took off running.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
1st down and goal to go.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was a touchdown if he could have hung on. Instead, it was a well-timed collision to jar that one free.
They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. Nick's going to keep this himself. Well, he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5, and they pick up a 5. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's 3rd and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Lutz is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now.
Now he lost the football. Well, the Niners going back on offense now late in this first half, as they take over with exactly 1 minute to go. Purdy now to throw. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ballgame. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Throwing here, Purdy. And that one too wide and incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big 3rd down coming up, He's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
And they will bottle him up behind the line, and now will they use a timeout? And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. So halftime, and we will skip the highlight show this week. Get right back to this Week 3 matchup. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Can't get away, and he's taken down. Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance in last week's game.
He's stacking games.
And pressure coming, and they got him once again. John Franklin Myers able to record his 5th sack of the season. Here comes the 49ers punter now, standing right on his own 5-yard line. He'll take it at the 42. Following the punt return here, there's someone shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. He'll air this one out from Mims. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
Throwing Nix. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Incomplete. It's now 2nd down and 20.
Now it's Nix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd. 3rd and 20. Looking to throw. Nix. He'll try and do this himself. And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
A gain of 24 yards. That's good for the Broncos. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Nick's going to keep this himself. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. They'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
They'll run. It's ETN. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
That's another Broncos 1st down. 1st First and goal at the 1-yard line.
They'll run with ETN. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's third down. One play action. Here's Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Evan Ingram, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Broncos are pouring it on. No surprise there. Third and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
Wants to try to add the PAT. The PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. And that flag accepted.
Will Lutz to kick off for the Broncos.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, they'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his one a rest.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
You can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line is taking charge and control this game.
Under pressure, they got him again. And Allen breaks up fourth down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sand. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he's on to kick it away. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Ready.
Off the play fake. Here's Nix. Now he'll tuck this and run. Well, he's got to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice job there on the escape and scramble. A first down, a 16-yard gain.
First down. First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
Hold on, set. Ready.
Off play action. Nix. And off his back foot, he'll heave this one deep. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Cortland Sutton with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos are closing in on a third straight victory to start the campaign. When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we haven't been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. San Francisco set to go on offense once more. Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down.
Now a quick throw as they get it to Ayuk outside. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Now it looks like we've got a Bronco that's banged up on the play. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Get set, get set.
McCaffrey running up the middle. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there on 2nd down.
If you're a coach, you'll absolutely take that run every time on 1st down because it really sets you up to go in a number of directions here on 2nd.
Another run with McCaffrey on 2nd down. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game. Well, we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the number 1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a 1st down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something?
It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on 1st down.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
He's going to drop this down to McCaffrey. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 18. That one good for 20 on the catch and run. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18.
First down, 49ers.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. On 1st down, this is McCaffrey. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Back to throw, Purdy. That one complete to his receiver, Jennings. A gain of 8 there on the play. 3rd and 7 now. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. Now 3rd down and 7. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Nick Bonito picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
You can almost see all the defenders rubbing their hands together with glee because we all know they relish the chance to bring down a quarterback of his caliber. Anyone who brings him down has plenty to talk about. Not just a sack, but a big win built on the efforts of this defense.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg. And they're at least trying to finish out strong.
And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. Now it looks like he'll throw here. Nick's going to keep this himself. He'll find ETN out of the backfield. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it second down. ETN with it. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards the pickup, first down. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described. Manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage, they're powering through, and they're controlling this game.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, here's Nix. He'll let this go deep for Sutton. That's caught inside the 20. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Now it's looking incredibly likely to be a 3-0 start to this season. That is obviously excellent. 2-0 is one thing. 3-0, you really have some momentum.
And now they're serving notice to the rest of the league that they're a pretty darn good football team. Confident, aggressive, attacking at all times. This looks like a team that you're going to have to deal with. And guess what? Behind closed doors, they're trying to figure out ways to get better.
Lutz with the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
49ers 3.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And he'll get it up just past the 20 as his guys will go to work at the 21-yard line. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches, don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Use that as ammo.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Well, this was a blowout supported by both sides of the ball today, Charles. It would be easy to look at the offense and say, man, they were clicking, and they were, but don't forget about the effort by this defense as well.
Yeah, they weren't going to let up just because the lead was safe. They wanted to play as big a part in this game as their offense did in making this blowout. They needed to be noticed as well, and they played accordingly.
So for Denver, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for San